Big win for you all tonight. First of the year. For you, 2 sacks.
Yeah.
What was the key for you to get to the quarterback often and eventually record those 2 sacks?
Really just use my speed, bend the corner. That's all we've been prepping all week.
So, what was the game plan tonight? You guys really shut them down pretty much all night long, bringing pressure to that quarterback, having some of those throws, go to nowhere just because you brought that pressure and you had to get rid of it quick. What was that game plan?
It was really just do your job, get there fast. As the D-line, we just trying to make it as hard as possible to the quarterback to do anything.
You guys had some extra guys available tonight, Arbel,
Yeah.
as well. What was that team focus like? Always running to the ball, always making sure that the play doesn't go any longer than it needs to.
It just goes back to Coach D's Gator rules. Just run to the ball, and it's just like it's kind of a habit now. So it's just kind of something we do.
Questions from no more questions here. Corey, do you have anything else for us tonight?
Go Spirit.
Jaylen, 16 carries, 115 yards.
Yes, sir.
7 yards a carry. What was that night like tonight?
Good game planning. Coach had us good tempo in the second half. 115, I would like it to be a little higher and, a couple of touchdowns, but overall good job, though, from the offense.
You guys scored a lot, especially in that first half. How important was it for that offense to jump out to such a big lead?
Very important. Get after them early, throwing the brake, or throwing the gas, and just keep going.
Yeah, your foot didn't go anywhere near the break tonight,
No.
Especially personally for you. A lot of heavy runs, a lot of contact. Is that something you thrive in, being able to make that contact and just keep going?
Yeah, that's me. Power back, get downhill. We have Giron Lester, 1549. He had a good game today too. I like a little thunder lightning right there with us, a little dual back right there. But I think we did good overall.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Jadon, 2 catches as well for the 26 yards. So you guys, very skilled, very, as you said, thunder and lightning style. Right. You guys get this first win on the books. You're back on the same field next week. What does this week of preparation look like?
Take the next step forward, not look back. I feel like this game we had a lot of preparation, came out quick, fast, put some points on the board, and do the same next week.
Excellent. Any other questions, fellas? That's it. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Big win for you and your team.
Yes, sir.
First one on the books. What does it feel like?
It feels great. It feels good to have that first win under our belt. We're just going to keep it going, keep the ball rolling.
You guys kept that ball rolling and the intensity going all night on the defensive side for yourself. You picked up a defensive touchdown. Talk me through that play a little bit and how it got started and how you felt about getting in the end zone.
I just came down in the curl flat, was inside of 2. I seen the quarterback was looking to my side and quick, seen the screen, just jumped it, and then just took it to the crib.
A lot of help from your defensive line as well. A great team effort. We saw Corey, who just was up here a minute ago.
Yeah, Corey had a great game.
2 sacks. What is that defensive line and that front 7 like to allow y'all to?
Oh, it's great.
In the secondary? It's
great. Arvell Ferguson, Giovanni White, they all just get to the ball quick. They're great D linemen to have. Give me some time back there to see what's going on, get the ball.
When we were talking to Corey, he talked about always chasing the ball. For y'all tonight, you had the 5 sacks, plenty of tackles for losses, 2 forced fumbles as well, obviously for you, going to the end zone on that one, a bunch of pass breakups. What is that intensity like, and how you guys are always chasing the ball, whether somebody's carrying it or it's in the air and you can make a play on it?
Coach D really emphasized Gator, and that's running to the ball every play, no matter what. Don't take a play off. Just if that ball's out, run to it.
Win 1 in the books. You got a lot of preparation for next Saturday as well as you take on Nelson. What's this upcoming week going to look like?
A lot of studying, getting ready for the week, just preparing, getting ready, getting locked in.
Excellent. Maliki, thank you so much.
Appreciate you guys.
Speaking of touchdowns, you had 4 today.
Yes, sir.
You had an excellent performance as well in week 1.
Mm-hmm.
How do you keep the ball rolling and how each week it seems like you're getting better, even dating back to last year? And again, you've taken another step. What is that like for you?
for me, it's just not getting comfortable. Just because I have an amazing year last year doesn't mean I just stopped working. You know, over the summer, I stayed working. I never got comfortable. I still came in and watched film. You know, nothing changes. You know, if I had a good season last year, I'm trying to have another good season again. And that just comes from hard work. That's not talent. I just got to work hard for it, you know, have another amazing season.
You spread the ball around pretty good here, just kind of off quick count here. It looks at least 9 or 10 different receivers. What does it mean to you to get all your guys into the game and into that flow?
For me, it's just taking what the defense gives me. You know, I don't always have to take the deep shot, the touchdowns, you know, just base hits like Coach Nesbitt tells us in practice. You know, that leads up to a big play, you know, gets me more yards, you know, just there. Just make it quick, get my guys involved, not just be isolated to 1 or 2 receivers.
Through 4 touchdown passes to 3 different guys. First, let's start with the Vicious, 6 catches, 151 yards. What does he do for your offense?
He's a blessing, you know. Week 1, he missed out. He was ineligible. But this week he came back, you know, got ineligible, and that really helped out a lot. You know, really missed him in week 1, but, you know, that's the past. I got to work on the future.
Yeah. Another guy that had a great game. Half of his catches were touchdowns. It was Grant.
Oh, yeah.
What's he like? He had a pretty good week last week, or 2 weeks ago, that is, as well.
Yeah, Grant Fury's a really good slot receiver for us, you know, good, reliable guy. You know, today I just fed him the ball, and he really made good plays for his 2nd touchdown. That corner route, that was an amazing catch, what he did. So he's a real good, reliable receiver.
Let's talk about your running back, Jaylen. We just had him up here to start the post game. 115 yards on 16 carries, over 7 yards a carry. What is he like?
Hard-nosed running back. You know, he doesn't go down easily. Really good running back. We just got to feed him the ball more. He's really a beast back there. When he gets the ball in his hands, it's hard to tackle him. He's a really good running back.
What do you have to say about your offensive line, who was excellent again tonight? All those passing yards, all those rushing yards as well. A lot of time to get the offense going. What are those guys?
Yeah, it doesn't start with me at all. Everybody thinks it does. I can't do nothing without my O-line. It all starts with them. You know, I have to be on the same page with them. They're really amazing O-line. They had a clean pocket the whole night, and I truly give my flowers to them. Nobody else in the stands or nobody else sees what the work they do except me and in film sessions. So I really appreciate those guys. You know, they don't get the flowers that they deserve, but, you know, every day I'm a reminder, like, you the guys that protect me. You're the guys that, you know, make this offense go. So I really appreciate all 5 of those guys, and including the backups too. I appreciate them for what they do against practice. You know, they go against tough guys and they just battle it out.
You guys have any questions for Luke? One final question for me then. Coming up, you got the first one in the books. Looking for another one against Nelson next Saturday. What's the week of preparation?
Got to get back to work. You know, first half was amazing for us. Second half, we got sloppy, and that can't happen against Nelson or anybody in the future. You know, we just gotta keep it going. We can't lay up on nobody, or, you know, it could be an easily turnaround. They can come back, we can lose, then we'll start feeling bad on ourselves. But it was us that made the mistakes for them to come back. So we gotta have a complete game. These next couple games, you know, really shut out people, and we just gotta get back to work.
Excellent. Luke, thank you so much for your time.
I appreciate it.
All right, Coach, thanks for your time tonight. Win number 1. What does that feel like?
No, it was good. You know, it was good. I mean, it was exciting to get back out there and get a play. You know, you look at it, we practiced for probably 6.5 weeks for 2 games, and the guys really needed to play. The whole team needed a game. We needed to coach in a game, and it was fun. It was good to see the kids get out there and get to work and get after it, and just the vibe and the excitement of it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Like you said, you guys have been practicing for a long time, for not a ton of game time now. Those games start running, but how did you like the way you guys came out and again after playing only one game?
No, I thought we were great. I mean, the first half was as good a football probably as we played, in all three of it, and then I thought we were consistent. I thought we played well. I thought we had a good energy level. I thought we were fast on both sides of the ball and special teams, and it looked really sharp, and it was good. I really liked it. And then that second half, it was way too loose, too many guys laughing and singing and kind of thinking that we could pump the brakes and slow down a little bit and just get sloppy. And it's like I told the guys at the end of the game there, I mean, it was just some guys were upset because they weren't getting their touches or their tackles or their plays, and then other guys were just, hey, we're done. Let's shut this thing down. And you look up and they throw a couple balls and you have a interception and a punt return for a touchdown and a kick. All of a sudden you're looking in and you're like, they get one ball. It's a 2-score game and you're fighting your butt off in the fourth quarter. It's just way too sloppy for as good a team as we are. But I think that second half was just our youth. We're so young and so many guys that are first-time players that are having to do it for real on both sides of the ball and special teams that maybe they're not there yet of understanding how intense we really have to play to be as good as we want to be here yet. So we got to get back after it as coaches and start working again.
Yeah, it's a conference and a level that every week it's a dogfight.
Yeah.
So, but you guys came out and you swung pretty hard really early against a team that came in 2-0. Why was it important to get out to that good start?
Well, those guys do such a good job of throwing the ball, and they've got so many good skill kids. I mean, he's a little bit of disadvantage just because of his O-line at times, but he's got guys in the back end and secondary that can run, and he's got some really good receivers. And so you're just constantly in that deal of you better get out to some lead and try to make them one-dimensional, right, where they can't play action or run the ball at all, which we got to them pretty quick in that point. So then our guys could, Corey and those guys, D-line, could just pin their ears back and go, and then you get a block punt and some things like that, but you'd like that to turn into touchdowns, not field goals for sure.
We'll start with your defense, and before we talk about individual guys, both of your defensive guys that came up here earlier talked about Gata.
Yeah.
What is that?
Well, that's their Gata, that's get after that, what. So I won't put that on the air, but that's something those guys do every day, and they talk about it. And I think Coach Dominguez does a great job with that, of getting them to run to the football and that extra effort and try to pursue it, even if it's a big play, chase the ball down and do some things like that. And so that is something that they've done a great job since he's joined our staff, of just that effort, the tenacity, and that fight to just want to get after them every play. And so it's good. The guys understand it. It's coached well, and we get going with it for sure.
I think the play that was most on display was the fumble recovery for the touchdown by Maliki, where Corey gets the sack.
Yeah.
Maliki picks it up. I mean, just all over the ball. What did that play do for your team, and how did it energize?
No, I think it's, you feel for those defensive guys, right? Because they get so much just constant, the pounding of just, you got to stop them, you got to get a turnover, and it doesn't happen. And then you get it, and they get the turnovers, they score on it, and it just creates energy for the whole team. It gets people going, and they have such a good time when they score, because they work so hard defensively. So it was neat to see.
Corey had a second straight game where he was fantastic tonight. He had 2
Yeah.
goals. What does he bring to that defensive?
Well, I think Corey's, he's just a great effort guy. He plays with such good tenacity and speed that the thing that's going to get better now is you're going to get a couple more guys back from eligibility, and then he gets some help because everybody knows about Arvell. So they're all watching Arvell, and then you got Corey back there that's, probably as good in some guys' eyes as Arvell. So now all of a sudden you got 2 of those guys really getting after it, and so it's fun to see. But it's neat. It's going to be even better here in a couple of weeks, I think.
Your guys are getting to the ball, 9 tackles for loss. Counting here, it looks like you have 8 pass breakups.
Yeah.
Making the play on the ball, as we talked about.
Yeah.
Maliki in the air when it's on the ground. What is that like to see that defense just?
Well, I think it comes back to the way those guys coach it and the way we practice it every day for them. They're constantly, it's drilled into their head, the pursuit, the angles, the effort of the play and all that. So, it's good to see when you can turn it on the tape and watch it live like that on a Saturday night. It's fun to watch.
A guy that's fun to watch who was this NCCA Offensive Player of the Week. The last time he took the field has a great shot to do so again.
Yeah.
Was your quarterback, Luke.
Yeah.
30 completions, 400 yards, 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
How does he continue to get better?
No, Luke played well. I think it comes back to the guy he is, right? He spends a lot of time in the film room, and he'll come up and he'll watch tape and he'll come in and ask questions, and he does a great job of padding plays and studying people, and he just works at it, right? And you can see it when he plays the way he does, because when he's a little inconsistent like we were in the third and fourth quarter, he's upset, he's a little down by it and frustrated, but it's because he puts that time in. And so it's not like secret or anything like that. He's not just poof, it's happening for him. I mean, he works really hard at his craft, and it's good to see when it happens that way for him.
A guy who was working really hard tonight as well was Jaylen Magee.
Yeah.
He wasn't running around people. He was running.
No, he's going to be a good advantage for us. Jaylen reminds me a lot of Chris Ewings and those guys, and Josh Vizcaya, when we had those guys in the backfield, they could go from A back to F, and they could get downhill and handle the ball and get off on people like he did tonight. And that's the thing, right? He's moving the line of scrimmage. He can get to the secondary, becomes hard to tackle, and that's what you need in that position group for sure. So he's looking like a complete player, so he'll be getting some more work for sure.
How nice was it to have the Vicious back on?
It was good. It was good, but it's good now because it balances up, right? It helps Terry out. It gets them to have to play on both sides. But really the guys that are improving, though, are our H's and our Y's. Those outsiders are still a little inconsistent at times, but what it does now is it balances the field, because now they can't just say, well, we're always going to double the Vicious like we were at times. They can't just double Terry like we were the other night. Now it's going to make them play the full field, which is going to help us for sure.
Grant had a good game tonight, 2 touchdowns. He had a pretty solid week 1 as well.
Yeah.
What do you like out of Grant?
No, he's just playing super consistent right now. I think we can probably use him in some more spots, but he's got good yards after the catch. He's always he gives Luke some good vision. He's explosive out of the cut, but he's just tough. He's just one of those tough inside slot wide receivers that can get the job done and can play. So it's awesome to see him get going.
What about your offensive line? Who had another good night?
Well, line played well. I think they're playing pretty good. It is everything, right? It goes back. The whole first half was fantastic. Then we get out in the third and fourth quarter, and we're sloppy at times and the whole thing. But they're a good group, and we really thought that we could hang our hat on that group just because they're being so old. They're so mature. They played. We've got one freshman starting out there, but he's surrounded by Dave and Zane, which can help him a little bit just with the experience. But he's a great player. He's a really good young player. Reminds us a lot of Joe Love that first year at guard, and so he's doing a great job. So that's a really good, solid group right now. And then Andrew Cannon coming in at tight end and doing some things there really helped us. So it's an interesting group for sure, but the maturity is what's good to see.
What questions do we have from the group here?
Hi, Coach Alex Doftian from OUAZSpirit.com. I'm here tonight representing the fans of OUAZ and OUAZ football with my one question. Some people might not know this fun fact about you, but you're a cat dad. Can you tell us a little bit about your 2 cats, and what's your favorite thing about being a cat dad?
Well, one, I'm probably a cat dad by marriage more than I'm a cat dad. My wife is a fan of cats. She loves them. We've got 2 cats. And so we've got a cat by the name of the Ref, and he's a black and white cat. And the Ref he's great. He's awesome, but he takes a lot of abuse. Like tonight, he's going to take some abuse tonight because people aren't going to be really happy with the Ref just because of the third quarter. So when I come home, I look across the house and I see him, and he's going to look at me, and I'm going to look at him, and I'm going to remind the third and fourth quarter. Now so everybody knows out there, I don't hit my cat. I'm not mean to my cat. But the Ref and I have a pretty good relationship. So the Ref and I are pretty good. Then we got another one. The cat's name is Ruth, after the Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, because my wife's a fan, right? And the cat is absolutely mean. She is the meanest, vicious little cat. We inherited that cat from my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law. It was actually their cat. And so that is Damien and Crystal's cat. But I inherited that cat over a holiday break one time because my wife fell in love with the cat. And Ruth is she's great. She's good. She makes 2 sounds, and if she makes those 2 sounds, I absolutely walk away from her because she's going to jump and scratch you to death. So I absolutely stay away from her at that point in time. And so it's a nice relationship. Like it was told to me in a text today, because my son is in San Antonio and he was going to an Oktoberfest deal today. and I sent a little message about it must be nice to be a civilian on a Saturday afternoon where you can go out and have a couple cold soda pops and enjoy some games, at a local establishment. And the response from my wife was, those kids and you better do a great job of playing and coaching tonight because the cats need food. So I think I understand where I'm at in the house. That my whole existence on this planet right now is to make sure that this team plays well so those cats can eat. So I know where I'm at. I know what my role is. It's kind of like I tell the kids, you got to understand your roles, right? You got to know where you're at and you got to understand what you're doing, right? Because all of us got a job to do and we all got a role. My job is to make sure that those cats have food on a daily basis. And if this team doesn't play good, and if Kevin Steele gets mad at me, and Dr. Tyner and Dr. Sitsui send me on down the road, those cats are gonna starve. So that's why I show up every day and I work hard for these kids and this team because I love our team, I love our kids, I love our coaches, and I gotta keep the cats fed. So yes, so for the OUAZ fans, that is the true story about the cats.
All right, Coach. Well, we'll make sure you can get home so the food bowl is full and you don't get scratched up.
That's right. Appreciate it. Thanks.